my toe. What the heck? What is happening? Ay, my goodness. My goodness. Okay. All right. My goodness. I feel like there's not enough water in my body, even though I've already drank a gallon. It's just so fracking hot. Ugh. And I am indoors. Can you imagine if I was outdoors? Holy shock. Holy shock. And anywho, my darling dears, you see that little temperature gauge with that dial damn near all the way up? Oof. I hope, I hope everybody is able to find a safe harbor away from this heat wave that we are all experiencing, especially in the southwest area and other areas of the world where it's just baking, baking, boiling. We have some people who are literally baking food in their cars, like cooking eggs on the sidewalk, things like that. I mean, it is hot. Okay? I mean, if you can bake like pastry in your car, wow, that is something else kind of hot. Speaking of, a couple of articles have come across my feeds, and I am very, very sad about this because I think at this point now, we all should know the heat waves can kill anybody. And I mean anybody. It can be your pets, it can be your like little ones, it could be yourself, it could be any freaking body, right? So I don't understand why I still see in the news parents thinking somehow that their children will not be affected by the heat wave if left in the cores or brought in areas where there would be significant heat that would affect them. It's I really don't. Okay, I really don't. So unfortunately, a toddler, a 2 year old, was found unresponsive and was later pronounced dead at a local Arizona hospital due to having been left inside a car alone on Tuesday. This was July 9th during the ongoing Arizona heat wave. According to People magazine, the Marana Police Department, um, per their initial investigation, it is revealed that the child's father arrived home with the child asleep in the vehicle, and that apparently the father left the child in the car with the engine on and the AC running while parked on their driveway, went inside the home because he didn't feel like waking up the child. Huh? Sir? What? And then later on, when the mother of the child arrived home, I don't know, maybe his wife. It was just stated that the child's mother arrived home and discovered the child in the vehicle. The vehicle was no longer running. The engine was no longer running, and obviously the AC was no longer running. And this is when the parents called for help, and the police arrived shortly thereafter. And sadly, the child was unresponsive at that point, and while resuscitation was attempted on the child and was immediately transported to the hospital, she died and succumbed. She succumbed to her. I'm so irritated. She succumbed to the heat inside the car. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. Um, the you know it, I mean, obviously, I don't know what the inside temperatures were in that car, but in the middle of a heat wave, I can only imagine how hot it must have been with all of the windows up. Just, I'm just like, wow, like you're slowly burning up in that car. I just, oh, oh my gosh. So the next day, the police applied for and was granted a search warrant, but no further details were released. At the time, the estimate by the police is that the child could have been in the vehicle anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour or so. But still, the timeline is still an estimate because, again, they had not yet completed their investigation, or at least their preliminary investigation, or what have you. And it was reported that the temperatures in the area that day ranged from 102 and 108 degrees. That's outside. But imagine if the car was not actually in the garage where there's a little bit of shelter and just outside in the heat. Like you don't have the shields on, the sun shield on that you put in like the to reflect the sun, the heat of the sun away from the interior of the car, although your car is still hot. But regardless of which though, I am still confused. Why would you leave the child in the car? Even if you're just going to be inside the house for a few minutes. Like, haven't you heard of people who actually follow others and try to steal your babies? I mean, people follow other people to their homes to rob them. Hello? Like, so, meanwhile, on top of that, we also have a separate baby tragedy, this time in Lake Havasu, Arizona, as a 4-month-old died while on a family vacation due to the heat wave in that area. The 4-month-old unfortunately was exposed to the heat wave with her family while they were on vacation on a boat on the lake. So apparently, the child had fallen ill and lost consciousness about 5 p.m. on Friday. And even though CPR was performed on the child and was still being resuscitated while the child was en route to Havasu Regional Medical Center, and then airlifted to Phoenix Children's Hospital, it was too little, too late. An investigation is ongoing into that child's death as well. I'm just really irritated with this. Parents, what the hell were you thinking? A 4-month old in a heat wave. I just don't give a hoo-ha if you've been vacationing with your child months prior on this lake when there is a heat wave. Do you think that the children are equipped to handle that? Frack no. And then, like, we see you on GoFundMe begging people for their hard earned coins, but don't actually explain why you're truly begging for their coin. I mean, let's be honest, this is you being negligent. And based off of the mother's Facebook page, their family, the 4-month-old, their family had gone to the lake in April, May, and June with the baby. Like, hello? Granted, those months were already warm, but not like heat wave sort of temperature, out of control warm. Like, you couldn't sit out the summer months with a baby in a comfortable home. And then maybe, like, when the temperatures have like lowered a little bit, but still like warm ish, like maybe September, October, when it's a little bit safer, you couldn't just be back on the lake then? Seriously. I just don't know what is going on in these parents' minds. Like, they need to also be investigated for sure. I realize, and I'm sorry that they are grieving, but you put your kid in danger. You put your family's lives in danger. And look where your daughter is now. Another angel in heaven, but it didn't need to be so. Not at this time. We've already got too many kids in foster care, and parents are out here just playing roulette with their kids' lives. It is unacceptable. Okay, I gotta zen out. Before I say more. Whew. Calm down, Auntie. Oof. Anywho, unfortunately, or fortunately, we do have an update to the little toddler angel who was left behind in the car by their dad. And this has been released by Arizona police. The father has been arrested and charged with second-degree murder and child abuse for what police describe as a tragic event. So, after being granted the search warrant that we mentioned earlier, they had requested and was granted a search warrant but didn't have any updates yet to release. The police apparently were able to obtain video surveillance from nearby homes. And the detectives learned that the toddler had actually been in the vehicle approximately 3 hours. 3 hours in the vehicle, just cooking, baking in the car where the daughter was left by the father inside the car. Sir, at any which time you didn't come back for your child, like I don't know, after you put down the groceries or something. I don't know if you'd gone to the groceries or wherever it was that you had gone to, or maybe you just really needed to like use the restroom really quickly and didn't just dash in the house, dash out to the car and grab your child. Like I'm sure when you got out of the car, you could feel it on your face, the heat. Imagine your child being a 2 year old unable to process what is going on. And it's like, I don't even wish it on anybody at all. Again, parents, caregivers, please remain vigilant and take every precaution to ensure safety for not only yourself, but also your family members. Please remain vigilant and take every precaution to ensure safety for not only yourself, but also your family members. While this loss is absolutely heartbreaking, it was absolutely avoidable. It really was. So let's all remember them and every family's suffering tremendous loss in our thoughts and our prayers. Darlings, please be kind to each other and remember to leave grace for one another. And um, remember everyone, if you can, in your thoughts and prayers, because we all have done wrong in our lives, whether it's like some petty wrong or something gigantic. We are all sinners here. We are, no one here is perfect. But of course, it's still unacceptable for adults to conduct themselves in this way and be so heartbreakingly. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Anywho, darlings, please be kind to one another. Keep being the fabulous little you and continue to journey in gratitude. I shall see you, darlings, on the next go round. Toodaloo for now. Bye.